Hello to the hockey family. It is Tuesday, May the 26th. Obviously, yesterday in the States, we had markets closed for Memorial Day as we remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. I hope everyone had a wonderful long weekend and enjoyed it. Um, we've already received some great feedback on our latest webinar that we put out on RCA Trust in Canada. There should be a link right below this video. If you have not seen that and would like to learn more,
Yep.
link should be right down below.
Yeah, and just we did our best to take a very complex
Yeah.
topic that's really important for hockey players, particularly those that don't grow up in Canada and go and play hockey in Canada for a time. So while certainly an oversimplification, just creating some hypothetical example to demonstrate why RCA Trust should be considered by any player that's playing in the National Hockey League. Um, again, not if you plan to retire in Canada, but if you're would be like a U.S. guy, for example, going to play in Canada, just the potential tax savings, as well as just being a really nice kind of forced savings mechanism for your peak earning years. So yeah, like Strax pointed out, there should be a link somewhere below in the email here if you want to learn more.
Thank you. And Yogi, what's going on in the markets this morning and last week?
Yeah, so oil has calmed down a bit.
Oh,
Yep. And then kind of with that, like the US bond market, so US treasuries have also like calmed down a bit, which is nice. So the 10-year US treasury, last I looked, 4.48 this morning, like that had gone higher to like 4.7 for a minute last week. So nice to see that settle down a little bit. You also have futures higher this morning. Looks like another kicking off another good week in equity markets. I read somewhere, because last week, again, we were higher last week again in most markets. I read 8 straight weeks now
hmm.
of gains in markets. And that's amidst a lot of headlines that I'm sure everyone sees, Middle East, wherever else. And it just kind of goes to show, and I think just the one point that is not getting enough attention, and I know why it's not, because it's not a super interesting narrative, but like this past quarter's earnings
Yeah.
reports were so strong, like much stronger than expected. And at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot going on geopolitically and with oil and inflation concerns, but like at the end of the day, you as an owner of stocks, right? So, and preferably like a diversified basket of stocks, right? You have a fractional claim to the future cash flows and profits of businesses around the world, right? If you're doing it the right way. So when earnings are that strong, and companies are saying like it still looks like it's going to be strong, it's not a surprise. Markets have gone higher for 8 straight weeks amidst all the headlines. So this week we have a really important inflation number. All right, so the Fed's preferred metric, PCE, the PCE inflation metric we get on that data gets released on Thursday. Why it's more important than I would say previous months is last week's consumer price index, so the CPI as well as the producer price index were both kind of a little higher than expected. So not good on that front. So just to see if those numbers follow through into the Fed's preferred inflation metric this week, I think we'll have some market implications. All right. So we'll see the way that shakes out. And then lastly, just because this will be getting a lot of headlines, the largest ever, it looks like, IPO, initial public offering, SpaceX coming public. So they filed with the SEC. It looks like mid-June that's supposed to happen. It's looking at potential valuations of close to $2 trillion. All right. So we'll be talking about this again in future weeks' videos and content. And just one of those, like, we'll once it goes public, like we'll definitely include it in portfolios, it's you just don't want to get in the trap of having too much of a
Mm,
portfolio in something that's jumping out of the gates with
yeah.
a 2 trillion valuation. And like, I think last I saw like a price to sales ratio, if it comes in at that valuation, like 100 times sales, which is, to put in
Yep.
perspective, I think Nvidia's like the highest valuation. I think that's like 26 times sales. So SpaceX would come in like 4 times that. It's just, that's the kind of, you
Yep.
want to be, just be careful is what maybe we'll leave it at that. But
Yep.
for now, we'll dig into more detail, but it kind of screams at me of, just like retail investors getting plugged at the top. And it could end up being a wonderful investment, but I get concerned in the short term when I see numbers like that. So
Yep. We'll be fielding some questions about that.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
for sure. I hope everybody has a great week, with some great hockey.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Another
Staying up.
overtime game
Yeah. Staying
last
up
night.
too late to watch these games.
Yeah. I think everyone's a little surprised to see Vegas up 3-0.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we'll see the way that shakes out tonight.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, hope everyone has a great week, and talk to you soon.